Our first guest has been the very first guest on every first television program we've ever done. Bill Murray. Bill!
It's Sunday morning on CBS, and here again is Charles Osgood.
Are you all right?
I went to the other place. God, is it dead over there?
Nearly 22 years after Bill Murray's memorable entrance as David Letterman's first guest on The Late Show here on CBS, Dave is counting down to his last broadcast this Wednesday night. Visiting Dave this past week at the Ed Sullivan Theater was another Hoosier who worked with Dave way back home in Indiana, our own Jane Pauley.
Dave Letterman.
Nice to see you.
In his final days in the Ed Sullivan Theater, David Letterman is reminiscing.
When they were finishing it up, there was a garbage can here. And I was up in the balcony, and I had a football with me, and I said, let me see if I can drop the football into the trash can from up there. One shot, bang, zoom. And I thought, this is a sign of something. So do we have the thing here? Let's try it again. Do you mind, Jane?
Oh, I'm game.
It seems like you and your boys don't have anything planned.
Well, we had some plans, but we can change them.
Well, we can do anything you want. We have to go up here.
Yeah.
Somebody stay down here. Jane Pauley, ladies and gentlemen.
We were off and running.
Are those properly inflated?
Along the catwalk and into the balcony. You're not going to let me play. It was so close. Why did I have to say anything?
Yeah.
Okay.
That scared me.
Was that closer than...
Yeah.
I think so.
Then Mr. Letterman, sure. Oh, I'm choking. It's no follow-through.
It took 10 tries.
Yeah!
Thank you very much.
Yeah, woo! I'm sorry. Was that too
That's
much
all I wanted. No, that was perfect.
And what does it mean?
I don't know. I'm just happy I was able to do it.
Yeah, and you were.
Yeah.
That means you can't leave.
Okay, no, we have to leave.
And leaving he is, with an astonishing lineup of guests in his final weeks on the air. I'll sit here. This is really a nervous place to sit.
I have been honored to be among the 18,000 guests. Do you remember?
Yep.
No, seriously. Do you remember stuff? Do you remember people?
I do. I don't remember things we've done on the show. And here lately, we've been showing video of things we've done on the show. I have no memory of it. No memory of it. And when I get home, Regina will say, well, who was on the show? And then it's like, yeah, who was? I don't know. It might have been Reese Witherspoon, but then again, might have been Regis Philbin. I'm just not sure.
Would you like to hear what we'd sound like had we been inhaling helium?
I sometimes appeared on Letterman's show in the early days.
Jane's been stricken with some nasty throat virus. It's your show, Dave. Yes, it's...
Once, he thought it would be fun to make our voices sound like we'd inhaled helium. I wasn't so sure.
It's possible that this could be used against you one day.
I want to apologize about the helium thing.
What? See, I don't remember. You were on helium?
If we spoke, our
I see.
voices sounded like
We were
a
on
little
helium.
like,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't say a word. You did whatever you could to make me.
Right. But see, you behave the way humans are expected to behave. My behavior was aberrant. So I owe you an apology.
No,
There's often something apologetic about David Letterman, which goes way back, as we do, having both grown up in Indianapolis. I recalled an appearance we made together in the 70s.
You told the high school kids about your feelings about your success. You said, it's like robbing 7-Elevens. The money's good, but you know you're going to get caught.
Yeah, I
line.
hope I said that. In those days, I was, probably not you, waiting to be tapped on the shoulder. Okay, the real guy's here, you can go home now. That's what I was always motivated by, that fear, the fear of failure. And then I have to, oh, darn. And then, I wasn't chosen again, so I go back home.
In high school, Letterman was not a candidate for most likely to succeed. But that's where he found his calling.
What did you want to be?
I knew exactly what I wanted to be. My sophomore year in high school, they offered a speech class, public speaking class, so I signed right up. First day of class, everybody has to stand up and give an impromptu speech about themselves. And I got up, when it was my turn and I gave the speech, it had to be like 2 minutes or something, and I sat down and I said, wow, that was easy, to myself. And I had never said that about any other class in my academic career prior or after. I couldn't do it in algebra, couldn't do it in English, couldn't do it in history, couldn't do it anywhere. Metal shop, maybe.
After college at Ball State, Letterman became a local
I've been on
jack of
television
all
for a long
TV
time.
trades.
I started when I was 20 years old in Indianapolis.
Yeah, I
where
remember
started.
you. The weather and
Yeah.
the weekend movies,
That's
you were
right.
hysterical.
No, maybe not.
Hysterical.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see that once again we've fallen to the prey of political dirty dealings. The higher-ups have removed the border between Indiana and Ohio, making it one giant state. Personally, I'm against it.
Boy, oh boy, America.
One of the most important decisions he ever made was to get serious about comedy and move to Los Angeles.
David Letterman. David.
Within a few years, he landed an appearance on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson that would change his life.
It's white, hot adrenaline. That's all it is. And then you go and you sit down and you talk to Johnny, and it's like you're sitting on the knee of the Lincoln Memorial, and Lincoln is talking to you. You know, it's like, holy God, it's the guy on the $5 bill is talking to me.
I have a feeling from your shot on this show tonight, you're going to be working a lot outside the Comedy Store.
Thank you.
Really, I hope you come back with us.
I'd love to.
More appearances on The Tonight Show led to a morning show.
At 11 a.m., because it was bizarrely a daytime version of what you do now, my office would be filled with people watching. It was brilliant.
It wasn't brilliant, Jane. It was like standing on an overpass looking at a chain reaction collision, you know, that goes, okay, 9 cars, 10 cars. Oh, look, it's 100 cars. It couldn't have been more poisonous. They had to get away from it.
The show lasted just 4 months.
I really thought, that's it. You get one shot and away you go.
Though Letterman was a ratings disaster in daytime, NBC gave him a shot at late night.
I started out, for God's sakes, at 12:30, following Johnny Carson. So that was a pretty safe place for a kid who didn't know what he was doing.
And that's what the network said. Find some kid who doesn't know what he's doing, the only one in America. Oh, that would be, here he is from Indianapolis, Dave Letterman. No.
That's exactly.
And they continued to give you paychecks
right.
to do this
That's right.
for them.
Yes. But it was all different. I couldn't get a show now.
For years, Letterman was the heir apparent to his idol, Johnny Carson. But when Carson retired in 1992, the chair went to Jay Leno instead.
There were rumors in the paper you were going to firebomb NBC. You were going to do all these.
Well, I hate waiting in lines, but I'd do it.
Letterman, deeply and publicly wounded, moved to CBS.
I was disappointed, but to my way of thinking, it was not bitter.
And then this morning, I wake up, and next to me in bed is the head of a peacock. So I don't know.
He turned The Late Show into a comedic laboratory.
Where the hell are the singing cats?
This is not Cats. This is my TV show.
I'm in the wrong theater.
There were the top 10 lists.
Number 8, I still wear those underpants from Risky Business.
Yeah.
The stupid pet trips.
Take it to the hoop. Yeah.
But television's most reliably irreverent personality is feeling kind of nostalgic these days.
When I'm down here during band numbers or during commercial breaks, I will go to various places and try to memorize what it looks like and how I feel and look at the audience and get the scale of things, because even though I've done it for so long, I don't ever want to be without a fairly accurate, fairly vivid impression of this experience.
Goodbye.
By any measure, David Letterman took his craft to new heights. His comic genius recognized by everyone, except himself.
I had this conversation as recently as last evening with my wife, and she will go to this strategy to pep me up.
What does she say?
She says, everything's fine, and you've accomplished some things, and you should be proud of that. And I don't believe her. And so we have to be separated. We go to neutral corners.
Life can be hard work for you.
Well, for anybody, for God's sakes, isn't it, really? I mean, jumping crap. It's, well, there's Sunday morning. Charles Osgood.
They're grown-ups.
I'll be right back with a little more jumping crap.
He's right. We'll have more of our interview coming up.
Would you like me to do a dance for you?
What?
Hi, Paul.
Okay,
give me
okay,
some
okay.
lips.
Oh, my God. Oh, geez. Oh, my God.
So what can I do for you?
David, you're really a dear old friend.
Thank you.
So could I suggest tonight you're interviewing Hillary Clinton, the First Lady of our nation.
That's right.
Try not to be a jackass, will you?
Despite legendary anchorman Walter Cronkite's warning, David Letterman's time in the late-night spotlight has had its share of good times and bad times, some of his own creation. Here's more of his interview with Jane Pauley.
You've talked about alcoholism.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that
man.
for real? I mean, you're not talking just about I drank a lot, but you were or are an alcoholic?
I guess you're always an alcoholic, yeah.
When did it start?
Well, I started drinking when I was about 11.
Really?
Yeah. It was that old thing where my dad used to like scotch and soda. Say, here, Dave, you want to try one? And I tried one, and I just thought, this is fantastic. And I just kept drinking. It was delightful. I loved everything about it.
It kind of explained your grades.
Yeah, perhaps. But then in high school, it was part of the culture. And in college, it was mandatory. And then when you get out of college, people start to taper off. And I was surprised. I would look around and I thought, where are all my drunk buddies? And I drank right through till I was 34, and I had the show at NBC, and I just said to myself, you're a fool, you're a dumb fool. You can't do this. You know, they just don't give these shows to everybody. You have one, and you drink yourself into trouble. You're done, pal. And I just quit. Never took another drink.
Really?
Yep.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you.
huge.
Yeah, it was huge, because I'd be dead. I'd just be dead.
Remarkable candor for a man so famously private. Though Letterman's personal life has sometimes become conspicuously public.
I have had sex with women who work for me on this show. Now,
in 2009, he admitted to having liaisons with staffers after a CBS News producer tried to extort money from him.
my wife, Regina, she has been horribly hurt by my behavior. And when
Letterman delivered an on-air apology. The revelation came just months after his marriage to longtime girlfriend Regina Lasko.
Let me tell you, folks, I got my work cut out for me. Wait till you hear what happened to me.
But David Letterman has been no stranger to headlines.
While I was gone, I had quintuple bypass surgery on my heart. Oh! Plus, I got a haircut.
I don't know anybody who has had open heart surgery and loved it.
It was great because it was all about me. Oh my God, it was great.
You liked being taken care of?
Oh, it was fantastic. And people would come in and they would worry about me and they would help me out of bed and they would walk me around the wing of the hospital. And then after I got out of the hospital, they would come up to the house and it was delightful.
So it was 5 weeks ago today that these men and women right here saved my life. And
he celebrated his doctors on the air.
I'm telling you, I couldn't have been more proud when these guys carved their initials in me, honest to God.
He admits his surgery did have a surprising emotional impact.
I did get weepy which I don't think was depression. It was a joyful weepiness. You know, I would hear a certain song or a certain image, or I would be talking to my wife and I would just explode into tears. But it was never that like clinical depression where it's like, I can't get out of bed. Oh my God, I can't get out of bed. It was not that.
Have you ever had that?
Yes, yeah, I've had that. And that's the worst. It's a bottomless pit that sucks you and keeps sucking you down.
One episode or more episodes?
One. It lasted about 6 months.
It was triggered, he says, when he went off prescription medication after a painful outbreak of shingles, which forced him off the air for more than a month. Just recently, Letterman found himself a bit player in Brian Williams' woes. The NBC News anchor was caught embellishing the truth in a story he told on Letterman's show about a helicopter mission in Iraq.
2 of our 4 helicopters were hit by ground fire, including the one I was in.
No kidding.
Typically, Letterman's version begins with a joke.
I went to his dressing room and I said, you know that helicopter story? It would be so much better if you mentioned you were in the chopper that took the hit.
Williams had been a frequent guest on late-night talk shows and reportedly even lobbied to host one.
He would have been fantastic. He would have been great. He's a natural-born broadcaster.
Supposedly he approached NBC about Leno's job and CBS about your both.
Yeah,
he had the chops.
Oh, of course, don't you think? Smart, funny, good-looking, knowledgeable.
You can see the future as well as I can, only maybe a little better because you're taller. Do you think he'll end up in comedy?
No, I don't think so. I think this will sort itself out. In a year or two, it will be a dim memory.
As for Letterman himself, his audience well knows.
And I don't want to go all Kathy Lee on you here, but...
his heart belongs to Harry.
And this is, I believe, the reason my life was spared, so that I could be part of this kid's life. There he is. Hey, buddy!
He's looking forward to spending more time with his wife and son, born when Letterman was 56. But first, he has to say goodbye.
You had me on during an important point in my life when I was leaving the Today Show.
Here she is, Jane Pauley. Oh, Jane?
It was probably the most vivid year of my life, and I was a guest on your show.
I don't know that the night before my last show, I would, feel up to coming on a little 2-bit deal like this.
And now you're having what I'm guessing is a profoundly vivid moment in your life, and I'm grateful that you're sharing it.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm naked and afraid because, it's so cliche, but I'll share it with you anyway. Any enormous uprooting change in my life has petrified me, really petrified me. But once I've come through the other side, the reward has been unimaginable.
This Wednesday night, David Letterman will walk out the stage door for the last time. What's on the other side isn't clear.
I noticed how when you talk about it, you say that you are retiring from the show. Retiring from the show is not the same as I'm retiring.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm trying to make it more palatable to myself, but I doubt that anybody will ever see me again. Yeah.
I doubt that.
Yeah, and what about the wine?
Well, yeah, you need a lot of wine.
In here?
Yeah.
How much?
Oh, about half a bottle or so.
Half a bottle, really?
Remember, this is for a children's birthday party. If you can't use a whole bottle, just use half a bottle.
Odie actually talks?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I love you.
Whoa! 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 Whoa!
ready? Go. Stay. Now stand. Stay. Catch it. Stay. Stay. Catch it. Stay.
Wow.
Stay. Stand. Stay.
Those stupid pet tricks are just one of the features that every David Letterman fan is going to miss. I'll tell you who else is going to miss him. Fellow comedian Jim Gaffigan.
David Letterman is retiring, and I'm having an identity crisis. I don't know what I'm going to do. That brilliant, emotionally distant, yet endearing, grumpy guy whose gap-toothed smile filled my television every night, he somehow shaped my entire adult life. I feel like I'm being abandoned. In a way, Dave and I have spent the past 3 decades together. As an awkward teenager growing up in Indiana, Dave represented a beacon of hope. He was and still remains the Hoosier who made good. Dave didn't just leave Indiana and succeed. He brought Indiana with him and succeeded wildly. Dave made it okay to be funny, smart, and Midwestern. Sure, his style is sarcastic, sardonic, and challenging, but somehow Dave has remained a civil, sincere, self-effacing populist. As a college student, I would attempt to imitate Dave's absurdist style and mimic his ability to make fun of someone while still allowing the person to be in on the joke. Yes, David Letterman was my mentor. He probably didn't know that, and most likely wouldn't care anyway. As a young comedian, appearing on The Late Show with David Letterman was not just my ultimate goal. It was also the only measurable achievement of significance for a young stand-up comedian. When I finally received the call, a peace came over me. I had arrived. I bought myself a suit, did my set, and shook hands with today's Mark Twain. I could die the next day satisfied. I was a real comedian.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Jim Gaffigan. Jim.
I appeared on The Late Show 22 times.
You know what? Here, smell me, Dave. Yeah. See, that's not cologne.
Really?
That's just how I smell. I smell sexy, Dave.
Is that right? Oh, my.
I don't know Dave personally, but like many of you, I got to know him over the last 30 years. I know when Dave is in a great mood. I know when Dave is in a bad mood. I know when Dave dislikes a guest, and I know when Dave is disappointed in himself. When Dave is having a great time, it's genuine. There's nothing phony about Dave. I know it sounds like I'm in love with David Letterman. Well, maybe I am. But don't worry, Dave. I'm already married, and as a retirement gift, I'm giving you my 5 children. All 5. You're welcome.